Happy Friday and welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim on ONNtv. I'm Tim.
I'm Luann.
There you go. That's all you need to know. It's cold in here.
It is.
I don't know what's going on. Somebody turned the heat down.
I don't want to put my hands on the desk because it's like...
Michael said that they turned the heat down to 64 last night. I guess that makes sense if no one's in the place, but now he's got to start paying attention to when we come in to turn the heat on.
Absolutely.
It feels...
But you know what? Give us a couple of minutes. We'll have hot air in this place. No problem. Boom. Just like that. Hey, Ellen DeGeneres?
No. What?
Woof. She is airing a show today.
Okay.
She had Kevin Hart on her show.
He's a comic.
Yes, and he was going to do the Oscars.
He was going to do the Oscars.
Remember the homophobic tweets from 10 years ago? He said, forget it, I'm not doing it. He had such an awesome, what he called incredible and honest conversation with Ellen about the Oscars. She told him during the interview, I phoned them and told them that they should have you on the show.
Ellen did?
So apparently the Oscar people said, oh, we'd love to have him. We'd love to have him back. So he's going to reconsider. He's actually
there he is, talking to Ellen right there. So, in other words, water under the bridge, all is forgiven. He apologized for his past tweets and he says he's learned.
He said, you know what? He said it's been like 10, some people say 10, 16 years. But he said, like, people make mistakes, and he said, I haven't.
So if his son were gay now, he'd be cool with it?
I don't know. He didn't say anything about his son or his daughter or smashing them over the head.
You know, because you're a comedian, you want to make jokes. That's one thing. But to say something like that, like if my son were gay, what did he say?
If I saw my son playing with a dollhouse, I'd smack him over the head with it.
Yeah, his biggest, and he actually said, my biggest fear is that my son would grow up gay.
Right.
So unless that's changed.
As a comedian.
Yeah, as a comedian.
Have you ever said something and gone, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, but those quotes didn't come from him as a comedian. Those quotes came from him as like a guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think he said those
it wasn't
things
part of
necessarily
a routine.
In a routine.
Oh, I see.
I mean, the thing about the doll, yes, but the thing where he says his biggest fear is his son growing up gay. Yeah. That wasn't part of a comedy routine. It may have been at one time, but he also said that in other.
Oh, I see.
In other medium.
Yes. Apparently, he's the reason. One of the big reasons he actually pulled out was because people were insinuating that he had never apologized, and he said, "I apologized several times." But the media would not let it go.
Okay.
So he was concerned about his career and about the status of the Oscar show and its reputation. So Ellen backed him up. So Ellen though, now on Twitter, some people are saying, way to go, Ellen. Some people are saying, what the heck you doing, Ellen?
Well, it's interesting. Isn't it? I watched her new stand-up. Ellen returned to stand-up.
Yes.
It's called Relatable.
How was it?
It's brilliant.
Yeah, she's so awesome. I love her.
But she's like, I mean, she addresses the whole lesbian gay thing to a great extent in this show, and I don't know. I just feel like she comes across as like the queen of all things gay. Mm-hmm. So now that Ellen has ruled that we must accept Kevin Hart back into our fold, I guess the queen has spoken. I don't know. So do we all? Yes, Ellen.
Wow. That you sound a little resentful.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could all forgive on our own terms or forgive her for... I would need a little more from him about what he said about his son. And maybe I should watch the interview with Ellen.
You know what? Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll do that. I'll give Kevin Hart the best. People do learn and grow.
Yes, and that's what he said. You know what? He said, like, I was a kid, and I'm in my 40s now, so I get it. But, like you said...
I'm sorry. You I'm a kid.
You got a chip on your shoulder.
How many years ago was it?
10.
Yeah, so in the year 2009, he was still homophobic?
And now he's not.
Poof! Oh, speaking of poof. Anyway. It's National Spaghetti Day.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Spaghetti face.
Where did spaghetti come from, Luann?
Japan.
Close.
China?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, China goes back to China like 5,000 BC. Yeah, and then Arab cultures developed dried spaghetti-like noodles they sold in open markets in the early 1200s.
So how did that happen, right? How was the first spaghetti noodle made? Did somebody just, by mistake, drop a pile of water into flour and let it sit there dry and went, gee, I'm going to eat this? You know, I often wonder.
I don't have that on my page, Luann. I don't know how the first ever.
Right?
You'd have to go back and ask a Chinaman. You can't say Chinaman. Oh my gosh!
Can't say that.
You guys, I'm so sorry that I just said that. That you can't.
An Asian person.
That. Honestly, what's wrong? It's more coffee. You don't say that. Don't ever say that.
Don't say that. That's a bad word. It's not nice to say.
It's not. That's not appropriate. That's not. Can we start this show again?
Kevin Hart.
See, now I've learned and grown.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me. Anyway, Thomas Jefferson brought pasta back to the U.S. in 1789 from his trip to Naples.
Oh.
So now I thought, I'm all stuffed up, Luann. Can I ask you some pasta trivia for fun?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
My favorite thing in the whole world is pasta.
In 18th century England, macaroni was a synonym for sophistication, upper class, and worldliness, perfection, and excellence. That's okay. So, who stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni?
Old MacDonald. No.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Stuck a feather in his cap
and called it macaroni.
Oh, I know that song.
Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle.
Now,
with the noodle, of course. What was I thinking?
So, did you know that about macaroni being synonymous with?
No.
Okay, so here's what happened.
Because it's a short little,
like
kind of povera.
Grand povera.
Povera. Povera.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Poor. Italian. It's cucina povera.
Poor kitchen.
Is people who, like, pasta was made because people couldn't afford food. So that's where.
I don't have that on my sheet either. All I know is that macaroni.
Yes.
A bunch of very fancy British guys go on the grand tour all through Europe and stuff. And and they come back and they are bringing stuff back from different cultures. They start wearing the big wigs, right? And the skinny tailored pants.
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the USA, so they were making fun of Americans by saying Yankee Doodle. He thinks he's fancy because he puts a feather in his hat and says, "I'm macaroni. I'm all that."
Oh.
Meanwhile, we are all that. Macaroni meant sophisticated because they also brought the pasta back with them from their tours.
Now, see, I would not call macaroni the elite pasta, right? Yeah. There are so many orecchiette.
Well, now there you go. So pasta shapes. Here's the next thing.
Yeah.
Bow tie pasta. The real name for it? It means butterfly in Italian.
Oh.
Farfalle.
Farfalle.
Okay. Wagon wheels.
Oh, I have no idea.
You know the ones that look like wagon wheels?
Yes.
Rotelle or ruote. Angel hair. Capellini.
Capellini.
Okay.
I love angel hair.
Now here's what I didn't. I never knew the difference between rotini and fusilli. I always thought that fusilli was a corkscrew.
Oh, it's not.
Well, rotini's the corkscrew.
Rotini's a corkscrew.
Fusilli is like a rolled spaghetti. It's actually not a cookie.
Oh, yeah, it's just rolled. Yes.
Twisted spaghetti is
and it's thicker. So like you have to cook it a different way.
The difference between penne and rigatoni.
The ridges?
The size. Penne is smaller and the rigatoni is like a bigger tube. And the difference between spaghetti and linguine.
Linguine's flat.
You got it. Linguine is flat. Good for you.
What's bocconcini?
Bocconcini is a cheese.
Yes.
Millefeuille?
Is a millefeuille is several layers.
You know
like
that because of the French.
Yes.
It's a dessert in French. And in Italian it's a thousand leaves, about pages in a book.
Because at the Root River, they oh my God, their millefeuille is just. But as you said, my Frenchness. I only knew millefeuille as like those vachon things that like a Napoleon. Like a Napoleon with a puff piece.
What was the V word you used?
Vachon. You know what the vachon
I thought
cakes?
You said vaginal. I swear to God.
No. No, you must still be in Asia. So I just thought that was interesting because it's better than. I'm not sure, like the complete difference between lasagna and millefeuille, but
lasagna is a thicker noodle.
You know what? The millefeuille. Oh.
Enough. We can move on now.
That to me is like
pasta trivia is done, Luann. We're done.
Well, now you got me all. Now you have to go for lunch. You have to run up to Root River and get me some millefeuille. Okay. How do you say it in Italian?
Millefoglia.
Millefoglia.
Yeah.
Millefoglia.
She asked the Munja Kick over here, the Timothy Murphy, the good Italian name.
Yes. For For sure, right?
Hey, Kathy Griffin's mom has dementia.
Oh, no.
Maggie's 98 years old.
Oh, God bless her.
And Kathy just came out and said, yeah, since September there's been a rapid decline. And she still knows her and says, I love you. Like my mom still knows me. But it's a rapid decline. 98, wow.
That's so tough. You know what? That disease is horrid. And especially on the people who are around the person.
You know, remember the movie The Notebook?
Yes.
All about Alzheimer's?
Yes.
Broadway is a musical. Speaking of Alzheimer's, there you go.
That Notebook.
Broadway musical.
Oh my gosh, that movie. Oh my.
You'll cry.
Oh, so well done. Such a classic love story. Gives you hope for the future. Lets you believe in love once again, ladies and gentlemen. Watch The Notebook.
It's almost like the weekend is here. I'm so excited. I'm also excited because
Shrek's coming.
Yeah, auditions are tonight.
Yes.
Okay, but also on the show today. Oh my God. Okay, on the show today, recorded interviews with Boomer Brado and is it Matt Patro from the Esquire Club. Fun stuff. And then another cool, great interview with Quilts for Kids.
Awesome.
Such a great thing. And then a great story. I got a story about that to tell you too.
Okay. Okay.
And the news. And it's Fur and Feathers Friday, Humane Society.
So stay with us on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and right now in the studio I'm joined by the iconic Boomer Brado and his business partner Matt Patro. Matt, we've never really met before.
No, not personally.
So he's normally the mouthpiece when it comes to these kinds of things. Huh?
I do enjoy him being the mouthpiece.
Yeah, well today you're just eye candy.
I'm the eye candy, folks. But before this starts, just look at these two bodies here, Matt and myself. Are these not barstool athletes?
These are.
Do we not excel in pool, darts, shuffleboard, poker? Yes, we do.
I would say from the bodies of these Olympians, you've probably been past Olympians, haven't you? It is the Barstool Olympics. Look at this. This is the trophy. This is quite spectacular. I mean, it's multi-purpose. And as you mentioned, the 4 events involved in the Barstool Olympics are?
We have poker. We have pool. Shuffleboard, and darts. This is a sold-out event. Your teams are full. You said how many years in a row? This is our 8th year, and 100 athletes will be participating in this weekend's Barstool Olympics.
100 athletes?
Yes, we have to use that word. Athletes.
Okay, so now the deal is you get about 4 or 5 people together on a team.
That's correct.
You've got 18 teams?
18 teams. This is our largest field to date. 3 divisions. 3 divisions.
What are the divisions called?
We have our Esquire Porchetta Pilsner division. We have our Miller High Life division and our Coors Light.
Okay, Molson's obviously is very much involved in the Barstool.
They are big corporate sponsors.
Good for them. Good for you guys. So this is a 3-day event?
Yep.
You don't kid around. I was talking to Luann before we came, and I was telling her, explaining all this to her. She said, you know, those guys, they really know how to, like, it's community, it's fun. As you said, this day and age, you can't just say, let's go for a beer.
No. Let's go do something and have a beer while we do it. And that's what it's all about, right? So
the fun factor.
And the fun factor, right? And what do they get for their entry fee? They also get
2 meals.
2 meals
from our Olympic cooks.
If you've been to the Esquire Club, you know you're talking delicious food.
To get a team jersey.
Team jersey is included as well.
And then we do have some big prizes for the first, second, third, as well as each individual will receive a medals.
Now these are, and by the way, these are high end. I can tell you that right now. I mean, I don't know what, this must have come off a really expensive beer.
I'm surprised you lift it. I'm surprised.
Well, you know what? I was getting ready for the Olympics, so I was doing some working out. And so these are fabulous beer can Olympic medals, each with a division pool. And this one is...
Well, that's the gold, silver,
I'm all
bronze.
So look at, you said to me I look like who?
Oh, you're definitely Michael Phelps.
I'm like the Michael Phelps of the Barstool Olympics, except don't make me do drug testing. You do drug testing for this?
I do. Yeah. Matt puts me in charge of the Olympic Village.
The Olympic Village?
Which is still under construction, so I'm going to have to use a men's washroom. Okay. And that's where I'll be doing the drug testing. Now, Molson beer is not a drug. Alcohol is not a drug.
For this particular Olympics,
it's not performance enhancing. And I do handle prophylactics for all the athletes because we know how things get carried away at Olympics, right?
Yes.
So we want safe.
Everybody needs to be safe.
All the way around, yep.
I'm glad you're taking care of things. And when you're playing poker, there's no rubber match in poker, is there? I mean, a little prophylactic joke there, but never mind. Okay, so if you have room for spectators?
Absolutely.
So this all rotates, right? Like everybody comes in and they all play simultaneously on a rotation basis?
Right. The Coors Light division will be playing darts. The Porchetta Pilsner will be playing poker. So the other division will be playing shuffleboard.
And it's elimination rounds?
The top points, so if you place first in the darts, you'll receive your 6 points. Second will be 5 points for, and so when all the divisions...
It's a round robin.
Yeah. So I'm going to take this off so I'm not too noisy in my microphone. So it's a points-based round robin system. Friday, I'm coming for the torch lighting.
Yeah, we're happy to have you there to light the torch tomorrow night.
Come by and check it out. So, tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
We're recording this on Thursday. That's okay. I'm wearing the same outfit that I wore on Thursday. This won't be a surprise to our viewers. We're pre-recording this because these guys are going to be busy. They're going to be setting up the Olympics for tomorrow. So it's Friday, which is the 4th of January. 5:20 is when the torch gets lit and everything gets underway?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And can the public get food too, or is
absolutely?
It, yeah. Oh, really?
Kitchens
open. So even though the guys their meals are prepaid for because they registered, I can come by and have some porchetta or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And then first thing starts at 5 o'clock in the afternoon after work.
Yeah, that's when the buffet starts, anyways.
Okay.
And then the first event starts at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. game's gonna
Sharp.
Sharp. All right. Then you convene again 11:01 a.m. Saturday.
Yes.
And the games continue.
The games continue.
Until when?
We'd say approximately 7 p.m. we'll know who will make championship Sunday.
Is it a last man standing thing at that point?
Endurance is a key factor.
Tolerance. Alcohol tolerance and endurance is a key factor.
Oh, but they're eating while they're doing this.
Yes,
so that's
of course.
Eating, and I'm sure they're going to have water in between.
Absolutely.
There'll be water bombed.
And nobody drives. Sunday who's left on Sunday to compete? How many?
The 6 teams. The top 2 from each division will play off in championship Sunday.
Must be exciting.
It is.
When do you have closing ceremonies?
We blow out the torch after the event.
With the alcohol in your breath. What about the medal ceremony? Is there a medal ceremony for these people?
There is after each event, and then the final Sunday, they receive plaques and Molson attire.
This kind of kicks off your whole year at the Esquire Club, because I mean, if you've been living under a rock, maybe you don't know this, but the Esquire Club always has like a regular roster of fun events. Obviously, all of these things happen at the Esquire Club on a regular basis. Do you have like leagues and stuff for these things?
Yep. We have shuffleboard league, we have a pool league, we have a poker league.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. And then also throughout the course of the year, they do all kinds of fundraising stuff. I mean, you guys are known, you and your wife Domenica, known for supporting local charities. And I didn't realize what you do with this kind of a thing is any extra proceeds that goes into a pot.
Into a pot. And at the end of the year, we give some of our charities a donation for Christmas.
Because you have sort of what you call house charities?
Yeah, we have lots of charities we deal with. Soup Kitchen's one of them. We Big Brothers, Big Sisters, of course, you know. And,
Arch. You mentioned Arch.
Arch is one of them. They get a little check at the end of the year.
So you've got your charities you choose, and then at the end of the year, you cut them some checks from all the events you've had over the course of the year.
Yep.
Hey, of course, Catch the Ace was such. I mean, you were in national news. Last year was Catch the Ace. When does it start up again?
It has.
It has already.
We're into our 7th week back.
Come on,
yeah.
7th week. The jackpot we think will tip this Sunday. We hope it tips $10,000
already. It's only January.
And we're leaps and bounds ahead of last year's draw.
See, because people now they're into it, right? They understand how much fun it is.
Yeah.
And does the Catch the Ace always go to one charity or it rotates?
We have 4 charities this year, actually, right? Yeah. We have the same 2 as last year.
Yeah.
Big Brothers and Big Sisters and the Group Health Center Trust Fund. The Police Foundations that's servicing the Special Olympics that's coming to Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, the end of January. Huge thing.
And the Algoma Lung Association. Nice. So we have 4 charities this year.
Guys. And then, so what about the Porchetta? When's that?
Porchetta starts next weekend after the Olympics.
Porchetta starts on Sunday at 3.
Saturday.
Saturday at 3. Porchetta Saturday at 3.
Saturday at 3.
Okay. And do I get to come back? Were you there?
Yes. Yes, that was enjoyable. Yes, I was there.
That was you in the apron.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. No, seriously, guys. You guys have it going on at the Esquire Club. It's fun. I mean, you're safe.
Yeah.
And also,
it's our members and patrons that they have a good competitive nature. Yeah. That's what drives everything. We put together a rock paper scissors tournament that brought in 60 competitors, and it's just they always have the fear to compete. So.
And you know what? Because it's a real community hub too. It's a feel good place.
It is.
It is.
Thanks for taking the time out to be here. I know you must be very busy polishing up your medals. So there you go. It's the Barstool Olympics at the Esquire Club. You can get more information. You guys have a Facebook page, don't you?
Yeah.
You have a website too?
Just a Facebook page.
Who needs a website when you're the Esquire Club? That's it. But and you know where it is. It's on Second Line, for heaven's sakes. Just go to the Esquire Club Friday, 5:20. We'll light the torch. The Olympics go on all weekend, and of course you can check out Porchetta and Catch the Ace as well. So Matt, Boomer, I'll see you later on today because this is airing Friday. All right.
Thank
you. Appreciate
it. A pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
What's that?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you.
It would be.
We'll be back after this break.
You have this awesome story to tell us. I can't wait to see this next interview.
Okay, so after the news.
After the news, yes.
Okay, so we go to Quilts for Kids, which is this, you'll see, it's a really cool thing. But while we're getting the camera set up, this man comes walking into Emmaus Church to the room where all the quilters are, carrying a quilt. And he says, I saw the article in Sue this week on the quilters.
Okay.
And he said, and I've got this quilt and I've got a story and I don't know who else to turn to. Maybe you can help me. Do you know other quilters? The story is the gentleman, Graham was his name, had a heart attack while moving stuff out of a property that he owned on Queen Street. And he ended up on the sidewalk, and I think his son was helping him move anyway. This was a massive heart attack. Oh. He went down, it was just before Christmas, and I think he said he came to in ICU in Toronto like days later.
Oh no.
So while he's having his heart attack, there's a guy that comes along who apparently was in the army, and he knew CPR, and so he was doing the CPR on the guy, on Graham, to keep him alive until paramedics could get there. And there was also a lady who in her car had a quilt. And she took the quilt out of her car and put Graham under the quilt or on the ground or under his head. I think under his head is the story kind of thing, and try to keep him warm. So then Graham goes off and he's left with this quilt and this memory of the story, and he never knew who these people were, I guess. So we just happened to be there when he comes walking in. Well, and there I am, look at me looking all surprised. He's telling me his story. So we put the story on our other website, on Sue Online, and Megan Pounder, our reporter, followed up on it and stuff. So here's the scoop. I get an email from the lady from Quilts for Kids. You'll see her in the interview.
Right.
An email saying, you'll never believe this. It just so happened the soldier who saved his life happened to be in town right now on leave from Petawawa. He saw the story and they're meeting for coffee today. Him and Graham, the man.
Oh my word!
Graham, the man who had a heart attack.
Oh my gosh!
And the veteran or the army gentleman who saved his life are going to go for coffee today. And meanwhile, we're still looking for the owner of the quilt.
Who made the quilt? Yeah, or who gave him the quilt?
Who gave Graham the quilt?
So when did this happen?
When did he have the heart attack?
Yes.
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
On Queen Street around December, I think he said, because it seems to me it was just before Christmas.
Okay.
So if you and you can see the picture of the quilt on the article.
If you go to SueOnline.com. What a phenomenal story.
Isn't that neat?
Now, what were the odds that you were going to be there doing a completely separate story?
Completely separate story.
And that he would walk in that day.
And gets the coverage like that. And then meanwhile, all the other lady quilters are all standing around going, ooh, hearing the story. And now they're all going to go to their quilter friends and say, do you know anybody who... And they have...
Right.
They tell them to look at the quilt.
That's phenomenal. What a great story.
Yeah.
So we'll have that segment coming up a little bit later on.
Yes, with the Quilts for Kids, that segment's coming up. And you should watch that because... It's just a really good feel-good story.
Yeah.
Well, they started they're the only Canadian branch. In Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, we have the only Quilts for Kids Canada because of the folks from Silver Valley and down the line. Not in the sticks, down the line.
You know what?
China Phillips. I can say that. I can say China Phillips.
You can. You know what? You know who I think needs a quilt?
Who needs a quilt?
Madonna, to cover up her bum.
Holy smackers!
Have you seen? She showed up apparently just as a surprise in a bar in New York City for New Year's Eve with her son, who's a musician apparently.
I didn't know.
Her bum, my word, they're saying like she's had implants. But I would demand my money back.
If those aren't implants, she went to Astro Booty where I get my...
You know what?
Wait, like, is that it? Is that the new butt?
No, that's
that's her old butt.
Like, honestly, it goes flat right here, and then it bulges out, and it's about that big.
You could carry drinks
so ridiculous
on it. It's like a shelf.
I would get my money back, Madge. Just saying. Honey, yeah, you got ripped off.
But
did
you hear the little joke I made in the middle of that when I said you could tell that was her old butt because there's a crack in it? That's why she put William Gish. Patty Duke Aston. Patty Duke.
Okay, before he gets in more trouble this morning, we're going to take a look at news on the local and provincial and regional and national level. So stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Tim and we are on location with Vicki Young at Emmaus Anglican Church on Wellington Street, and we're here because it's Quilts for Kids. Hi Vicki, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Well, we're both sort of just getting over this Christmas bug, but it's nice to be here with you. Vicki and I have been having a great chat. This is an amazing setup you have here. Tell me a little bit about the history of Quilts for Kids.
Well, we started about 4 years ago, so 3 friends and myself decided to look for something extra to do, I guess, and we found this US-based charity. So we actually had a nice little trip to New York and then went off to Philadelphia to check out the organization, and we came back with all the tools to start the first Canadian chapter.
I love that it's the first, and Vicki has been so modest. I said, well, it says here Quilts for Kids Canada on this pattern sheet. I said, so you don't realize that the only reason there's a Quilts for Kid Canada is because of you? And she went, well, I never really thought of that before. But I think that's something to be very proud of. You're the very first ever in our country to have Quilts for Kids. Were you retired when you started this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a lot of the people who are involved are retirees, yes?
Yes. Mostly retirees, yes.
But as you said, to be a fly on the wall here, they may have been around for a while, but that just means they have better stories, right?
Yeah, amazing stories, yes.
I hear them laughing in the background, right? Okay. So, no male quilters yet?
No, unfortunately, we've tried, but...
Well, you know, these ladies need some company, guys, so if you know how to work a sewing machine, and I noticed that you said that you have some machines here, the church has some machines, but generally, if you're a quilter...
You bring your own machine, you like your own machine, it's like driving your own car.
For sure. And now, this is also very interesting. These fabrics, and I love them, a lot of these are child themed. They come from, tell me where?
Northcott Fabrics in Toronto.
So this place in Toronto, because this is the setup they have in the U.S., right? With the Quilts for Kids in the U.S., they have a company that gives them ends and end bolts and stuff. And so this is in Canada, but you've established a relationship with this company in Canada, right?
It's the same company, and they have a U.S.-based warehouse, I guess, and it's based out of Canada.
Oh.
But they support Quilts for Kids all through the U.S. Yes.
Oh, so the company's based in Canada, and they just happen to have an American version that provides for Quilts for Kids. So now they're doing it right here. So you get shipments from Toronto.
Yes, yes, they're so amazing. Yeah.
And they also even color coordinate stuff to work together in certain quilts?
Yes. So there's collection. A designer will come out with 4 or 5 bolts of fabric in a collection.
Right.
And they'll send up the ends or bits of Yeah, in surprise boxes.
And it's like Christmas when they arrive, I'm sure. They're saying yes. And so now, as far as the patterns go, you have Quilts for Kids. It's a real organization, I mean, so they provide you with a lot of material. Like the patterns, I saw there's a whole binder, is that right?
Yes, we have a binder, all of the guidelines and how to operate, how to collect donations, how to submit your stats. All of those things.
Did they have to make a special binder for you being Canadian? I mean, things are different as far as foundations go and tax laws and stuff, are they not?
Oh, they are, and we don't have a separate binder, but we don't have to submit tax forms, obviously, in the U.S.
Because you're a charity. You're all volunteers, or?
We're all volunteers, but we're not a...
You're not a registered charity?
Yes, that's it.
You're not a not-for-profit?
Right, that's right.
But you can take donations?
We sure can.
So you were also talking about, you got a message from, did you say Ottawa or somewhere out of town was looking for a personalized quilt for some, tell me that story.
Yes, a couple of times we've had people contact us directly looking for a specific quilt for a child who's ill, and we've made the quilt, and then we will embroider it with the child's name on it.
And you did that for a donation?
Yes, for a donation.
You know, you said you would do that regardless, but it was nice that the person made a donation on behalf of that effort, right?
Yes, for sure. We would do it. It was just shipping. All I'd ask for is shipping, because we really don't have the funds for shipping.
Right. Now, locally, Cage is a superhero. I know that you were talking about doing a quilt for Cage. Is that correct, too?
Yes, he's been given a quilt from Quilts for Kids.
That's a special boy right there. What other organizations or charities or other groups have you contributed quilts to over the years?
All social service agencies in the Sioux, so the Pregnancy Center, Nogda-Windaman, Children's Aid.
Women in Crisis as well, didn't you?
Women in Crisis, the neonatal at the hospital.
Wow. Nogda-Windaman, I think you said?
Nogda-Windaman, yes.
Wow. Yes. So now you meet how often, Vicki?
Well, twice a month in the Sioux and twice a month in Sylvan Valley at the community hall.
Now, interesting story. It started down the line in Sylvan Valley, didn't it?
Yeah, it started down the line with some women there, and we worked for quite some time down there, and then we decided we should try to branch into the Sioux and draw more people from the Sioux. So now we run the 2 or the 4, I guess, a month.
And is it Pam? Is her name Pam from Emmaus? She is the chaplain here, I guess the minister. I don't even know what her title would be. We've had her on the show before. Great lady, and she helped you with the space that you have here?
Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, so they provide the space for us with storage and kitchen facilities. So we have...
it's great because now you actually have a room where you can keep all these amazing bolts of fabric rather than lug them around with you. It's enough to carry your machines with you, never mind carrying the fabric. So that's a great bonus. If people were interested in getting involved, the other aspect we talked about was the social aspect. Talk a little bit about that for me. The people who come here, it becomes almost like another family, right?
Oh yes, actually we've created some good bonds, and we actually have quite a bit of fun here. A lot of laughs and jokes.
So you have a lot of laughs while you do good work.
I wanted to tell you a couple of things I didn't tell you about other programs we've run. So we have worked with Garden River, and we've worked with young moms, teaching young moms how to sew. We've worked quite a bit with the senior women there. We've gone into, I think it was St. Basil's High School, and we worked with the students there, taught them how to quilt, and then they brought their quilts up to the hospital and donated. So we just finished another young moms program here, teaching young moms how to sew.
You just keep giving back and giving back, and having fun while you're doing it.
Yes, yeah, lots of fun, lots of fun.
So if there's somebody out there who's looking for, who likes to quilt, would you teach somebody? If somebody were a novice just getting started and they had a machine, could you help them?
Yes, we would definitely start from scratch. We have a new volunteer today who's learning how to cut the kits, which is fabulous because we always run short of kits.
So when you say kits, does that mean you provide your quilters with a kit to work on a project?
Yes, and actually I don't have a sample kit. I wonder if somebody has a sample kit. So the Quilts for Kids has the patterns, as I told you, that we operate from. So we cut out the patterns, the quilts, and put them in a little baggie, so that's considered a kit.
Okay.
So it has all the instructions and all the fabric pre-cut with the label, and all you do is sit down and sew.
All right, so now how do we get a hold of you? If we wanted to come out and join, what do we do?
You can contact us at SouQuiltsForKids@gmail.com.
And that's SOO Quilts for Kids at gmail.com.
That's right.
And then also, could somebody just show up here if they were curious, just to see how things are?
They certainly can. We run the first Wednesday and the third Friday of every month from 10 till 2. Potluck lunch.
Potluck lunch? Oh, I didn't bring anything. Darn it. You'll just have to feed me this time around. And then you still operate in Sylvan Valley?
Yes, Sylvan Valley's opposite, so it's the first Friday, third Wednesday.
Okay, gotcha. And once again, Emmaus, I say it wrong every time, Emmaus. We are just west of Shannon Road on Wellington. It's the church that used to be beside Sir James Dunn. That's Emmaus. And you come in the back door.
Back door, yes.
All right. Vicki, thank you very much for spending your time with me today. And ladies, thank you very much for all you do for the kids in the community. Oh, you also mentioned sometimes you'll get fabric that isn't quite children themed, and so you've done quilts for other things as well, for Arch, is that right?
Yes, that's right. We put that aside, and when we have time, we make some quilts for Arch, some larger size quilts.
This is a feel-good story. All right, Happy New Year. Let's look forward to a healthy Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yeah. And keep doing all this great stuff you do, Vicki. Vicki Forever Young, here at Quilts for Kids. We'll be back with more Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim after this. Cindy Ross, manager from the Humane Society. Long time no see.
I know.
Is Laura taking a break from me?
She's taking a day off, yeah.
Good for her. Well, welcome back, Cindy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming in, and
thanks for having us.
Thanks for bringing the brother and sister in today. There's quite a story behind these two beautiful creatures. Cindy, there were 5 originally that came to you.
Yep.
Tell me the story about where they came from.
Well, the 5 of them were found in a woodpile on St. Joe's Island, and they were in pretty poor condition when they came in. This little girl here being the sickest of the bunch, and we actually thought we were going to lose her.
Really? She was that sick?
She was that sick.
You said they had basically every parasite known to man.
Yeah, and
cat.
Infected eyes and sneezing and they were all a mess.
Now,
so
3 of them got healthy and are gone.
Yes.
And these 2, you held on to this little fella to keep her company while she was on the mend.
She was still on the mend, and you can see there's quite a size difference between them, and that's just kind of speaks to what kind of condition
he's got beautiful markings. His little black on the nose. He's got a little black marking on his nose on the end there, and he's extremely affectionate. He's purring up a storm right now. He also has this great spiral tail. I love it. What do they call him? They call him Vixen?
No, this is Vixen.
Oh, he's Dancer?
That's Dancer.
Their names right now are Dancer and Vixen because they came over at Christmas time. Now, let's talk a little bit about, I wanted to point out to people what the work that Humane Society does. For instance, this one little kitten over here. Now, they're about how many months?
They would be about 5 months.
About 5 months. Now. And they've been in your care since October.
October, yeah.
So when you think about the Humane Society, they're not just taking these strays in and giving them a home. They're actually nursing them back to health. Now, you said that Vixen over there almost didn't make it.
Yeah.
Can you give our viewers an estimate of what a vet bill might have been like to get her to the state that she's in now?
I would say that just a rough estimate for the group, like what we did, I would say we were well over $1,000.
Well over $1,000 for the kittens that you got from the woodshed.
Yeah.
From the woodpile, rather.
Yeah.
So when you're adopting these cats, or when you're donating to the Humane Society, I think it's also important to remember that they are covering thousands of dollars in vet bills to get the animals healthy to the point where they can be adopted into loving homes. So the $90 you're paying for a cat, I believe that's the fee, is that correct?
Right.
Because that covers $60 towards neutering and spaying?
Yeah.
So basically you're getting your money is going towards having the cat spayed or neutered. But all of that investment that the Humane Society put into these beautiful babies to make them healthy and happy and adoptable is why we need your support as a community, right?
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any drives going on right now, Cindy, to raise money, or are you sort of in between right now?
Right now we're in between. We regroup in the new year and get ready to set our calendar for the year, so we don't have any active events or drives going on.
But you're always welcome to make a donation, right?
Always welcome to make a donation, of monetary donation, food,
Mike Chakosky, our cameraman, producer, segment director, everything here. He brought these in because he knows that you always appreciate soft cat food donations, because you do have a large cat population. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're driving along Second Line and you want to stop into the Humane Society and make a donation, drop off some wet cat food, or also blankets,
towels, anything
like that.
Cleaning out your linen closet, we'll take it.
You'll take sheets, the whole, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
And then volunteerism, of course, is a big part of the Humane Society.
Yes.
How many volunteers do you have?
We don't have a whole lot.
Not right now, eh?
No, it's something that kind of comes and goes in waves.
Oh, look at him! Oh, you okay? I'm sorry, Cindy.
It's okay. It's okay, honey.
You settle her down.
It's okay,
Oh,
darling.
look at Tim just made a huge. This has not been a good show for me, Cindy. Look at her. Okay, I'm going to sit calmly while you get her claws out of your hair.
She's all right.
Meanwhile, Buddy's running around.
It's okay, darling.
What was I saying? Oh, volunteerism. I won't volunteer but students. It's a good way to make. I think he's coming. He's gone behind the tape. He's back behind. Oh, he's behind you right now.
Yeah.
So if you're a student looking for community service hours, you do that.
Yes.
And there he is, Cindy. He's right there.
Come on, honey.
Right. Hey, dancer. We have to go, Cindy. Thanks for joining us. I've traumatized the cats. If you're interested in adopting any of these animals, get a hold of Cindy Ross at the Humane Society on Second Line. What's your phone number?
It is 705.
Yes.
949 3573.
You're like the cat whisperer.
There we go.
We'll be back to say goodbye to Luann after this. Thanks for being here, Cindy.
Thank you.
It's been quite a show. I even managed to offend some cats. You can tell that I'm a dog.
Live TV.
Tell that I'm a dog person, ladies and gentlemen. Poor Cindy. She's got that cat hanging from her hair.
I didn't see it. I'll have to look at the reruns.
It was like a living fascinator she had on her head.
Yikes.
We're going to have a great weekend, aren't we?
Yes, we are. You're going to feel 100% by the time you come back Monday morning.
Shrek auditions. I'll tell you what goes on Monday.
Yes, please do. Can't wait to hear. Have a good one.
You too, Lou.
Thanks. You too.